I got a question for all Americans, for all MAGA, for everyone who didn't live in World War III, World War II, the ones that are alive, and for everyone who didn't hear the stories or seeing the true documentaries of World War II. This is for everyone who still have not seen what nuclear bombs had done to Hiroshima and Nagasaki in World War II. But before I get there, let me say this to you. And if you're MAGA, please take some time and think about it before you respond. No one wins wars. No one wins wars. Everybody loses. And if you are a part of a military or a paramilitary unit where you've seen either small combat or on the larger scales with missiles and all the kind of stuff, people like that don't want to go to war. They understand that diplomacy takes time, but in the end, they'll figure it out. Always. Back to the real question. A lot of you are screaming that Donald Trump should take Greenland, and he should take Canada, and he should take Mexico. Do you know what happened to the British Empire in its last days as a powerful country? They were stretched thin. They had resources all across the world, and they were stretched thin. Does that ring something true to you today? First, let me say I'm no foreign policy expert, but I got a brain. I'm pretty sure you do too. Might not be functioning that well, but I'm pretty sure you do too. And there's a lot of other people who will understand exactly what I'm saying. What happened when we go to war? And these are my ideas, not from any organization. I'm not plagiarizing any writings, any books. This is just how I feel. What happens when you go to war? Your whole economy becomes a war economy, right? Your sons, your daughters, your nieces, your nephews, those ones who are 16, 17 years old now, who's thinking about going to college and having the time of their life, they might have to strap their boots up and sling a gun over their shoulders and learn to navigate through IEDs without ever sleeping with a woman, without ever getting any kids. A lot of those kids that died on the battle line, they were virgins. How fair is that to them and their mothers and their fathers? They don't have enough money nor influence to scream bone spurs. No. There's a lot of representatives that got nieces and nephews that are of age. They're not going to war. You know who's going to war? You. And based on your age, father and son may be serving in the same unit. I don't know if that's a thing. Or serving at the same time. And daddy's wondering where his son is. And his son is wondering if daddy is still alive. And mommy too. As much as Pete Hegseth talk about the lethality of the army and downplay the role of women, if you have an army without women, you're already lost. People, you may think you have time. You don't. There's no time. We're fighting wars abroad and we're fighting battles at home. Because the president is trying to destroy our allies, either so he can own it or so Putin can own it. If we go to war, we most likely will be going by ourselves this time. The last time, we had NATO. And they came to our rescue. They didn't ask what, where, when, how. They just showed up. Because the United States needed them. And now, it seems as if we're willing to sell them to the Russians. People keep talking about it's a proxy war that is being fought in Ukraine. Call it what you will. It may be a proxy war. A proxy war that I fully support. If you've been watching Putin since the 90s, you will know that this dude will never be satisfied until he gets back all those old Soviet nations. And he doesn't have the manpower nor the military to do it. But he have the United States president who's voting alongside him, Iran, North Korea, and China. In most cases recently. Now you ask yourself, why is Trump like that? And I'll tell you. He have no convictions. His love language is money. You think you're donating to his campaign, but it's going into his pockets. You think you're donating to his library, but it's going to his pockets. You think you're donating to a ballroom at the White House, but it's going to his pockets. And I want you to remember something. Nothing that he does as president in its official quote unquote duties as president, he can't be charged for. The Supreme Court gave that to him. But you want to bet something? Subscribe to my channel and let's make a bet. Let's make a bet that when a Democrat take over, they won't be able to run to the Supreme Court on the shadow dockets like Trump did. There won't be a lot of these laws that benefit Trump. Do you realize that the Supreme Court, they haven't even had an oral argument on it? That's because they retain the right to go back and discuss it and make a decision when a Democrat's in power. We may have a half a brain, but it's still usable. And compared to the shades that they're throwing, our half a brain can figure it out. Doesn't take a genius, because they're stupid. Right? I got nieces and nephews growing up. They're super smart. My daughter's super smart. They're all going to college. And we're making sure of that. There's no ifs nor buts about it. Our kids are going to college. We know that. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. No matter what happens, our kids are going to college. Even if my daughter have a baby at 16, I'm going to take that baby. And I'm going to raise that baby. And my daughter is going to go to college. So there's no ifs nor buts. But what if we're in a war? The next thing that I want to talk about, this video is particularly long. I've been talking about it since it happened. But the reason I can't stop thinking about it is because it's a statement. Normally they would kill black or brown people. Now they start killing white people. Because white people marching with us legitimized us. And they want to separate us. So if you're white and you're part of the resistance, you gotta be very, very careful. Because they will take you out to send a message to the other white people who are willing to stand up for the rule of law. And I'm gonna say it again. Especially if you're white. Back in the day, it gave you some privileges. Right now, with everything that's going on, you don't have any privilege. And I know you want to help us. I know you want to fight that fight with us. There's always white people fighting that fight with us. Some other colored folks don't like to admit it, but there's always some, and they're the ones that were always able to get us through that door to where we can knock things down and make some changes. But their lives are in danger, and please don't disappoint us, black folks. If they hurt another white folk that's standing up for us, we need to be out there in numbers, record numbers, standing up for those white folks. Rennie did not deserve to die. And they're using her death to run a PR campaign to silence people. We can't, and I say it again, we cannot be silenced. We should not be silenced because we're threading troubled waters now. Don't try to stand up and put your head above water. Keep your entire body above water so we can still fight with every part of our being. They want us to roll over and die, and they're using some of us against each other, like this thing that I used to like called Nicki Minaj. I already flushed her down the toilet, don't worry about her. If you see her, it's a clone, because I already flushed her. She's not coming back up the tubes. People like Eddie Griffin, the comedian. Yeah. I saw him. I saw him at Mar-a-Lago last year. Maybe I shouldn't talk about any more of that part. But a lot of these black folks that you thought were supporting Kamala was behind her back, undermining her campaign. John Fetterman. What the hell? Why the hell was he at Mar-a-Lago so often before the campaign? Not even Mike Flynn wasn't there that much. I think I saw him once at the Prager Moms event. Wake up, peeps. Wake up and let's fight. And let's not fight with swords or guns. If it comes down to that, we won't be afraid. But let's try and not get it there too fast. Let's give them another chance to change. Because I wasn't always a lefty. I always was a conservative. But ever since Donald Trump came down that escalator, conservatism died. Literally. And everybody started praises the orange Jesus. So there's no way I can say that I'm a conservative anymore. What I can say is, I stand with you, and I stand with the people, and for the right cause, I'll give it all up.